There being none, all in favor of proceeding indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. We will move forward with tonight's meeting, and the first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our meeting back on Monday, April the 13th. You've had those in your possession. You've had a chance to look at them. If there are no corrections or amendments to those minutes, I'll entertain a motion that we put them into the record.
Motion, Lowry.
Okay.
Looking at this first sentence, maybe, did we meet in session on Monday, the 23rd of April 13th? Might want
But I don't see what you're talking about, Randy.
to.
Typo right here.
We approved the minutes?
Yeah,
Yes.
the 23rd.
Date on that needs to be changed to 23rd.
Okay, all right.
Needs to
Can you
say
change that to the 23rd?
Yes,
It's got two dates on there.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, we want
yes, I'll
to...
correct that. Yes.
Okay, all right, good deal. See there? That's good to have discussion. All right, anything else that we want to change in the minutes? All in favor of entering into the record indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The minutes
Do we
are...
have a, I don't know
You
if we
have
had
a second on that, Mayor. You need a second on those minutes.
Yeah, we didn't have a second.
Okay, so we had a motion. I'll entertain a second.
Second, Benel.
Okay, now, anybody have any further discussion on this? With a motion and a second, we will vote to approve the minutes. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay, minutes are in the record. Let's move to tonight's business, and we have a little proclamation work to do right here. I'm going to ask Barren County Judge Executive Jamie Bewley-Byrd to come forward, and Melissa Whitley is here tonight with Hope Harbor. Melissa, y'all want to come up here, and let's just, I'm trying to decide, let's go over here to this podium. Cody, we're going to go to the podium over here, okay? We can stand up here, but nobody can hear us talk without a microphone, so we had to come up here to a microphone. This is a joint resolution between the City of Glasgow and the County of Barren, and it's a proclamation. And I'm going to read a portion of this so you understand the importance of what we're doing tonight. This is Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, which is April of 2026. Whereas in our society, sexual violence continues to escalate and affects every person in the Commonwealth of Kentucky as a victim or survivor, as a family member, significant other, neighbor, or coworker of a victim's survivor. And the Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Barren, and the City of Glasgow recognize the importance of designating a time devoted to increasing the general public's awareness of sexual assault and commending the advocacy and support provided to 461 victim survivors of the Barren River Area Development District in the year of 2025. And many citizens of Kentucky, the County of Barren, and the Glasgow area are working to provide quality services and assistance to sexual assault survivors, and volunteers help staff a 24-hour crisis line which responded to 245 hotline calls and offered support during 94 medical exams, while staff provided 1,684 counseling sessions and accompaniment to 130 legal proceedings. And whereas Hope Harbor promotes personal safety and awareness by providing approximately 425 educational and training programs to, get this, 5,053 participants in schools, religious communities, and civic organizations, as well as professional training to medical, mental health, law enforcement, and education personnel regarding sexual assault. And it's vitally important to increase the public awareness of sexual violence and to increase support for agencies providing support services to the victims, survivors, and Hope Harbor hopes forth a vision of a community free from sexual violence. Whereas law enforcement agencies in the County of Barren and the City of Glasgow recognize the importance of policy and training developments to assist officers in the recognition, response, and investigation of sexual assault by fulfilling the training requirements set forth by the Sexual Assault Forensic Evidence Act of 2016. And whereas the Barren County Detention Center in the County of Barren, the City of Glasgow, has a memorandum of understanding with Hope Harbor and to provide the quality services and assistance to incarcerated victims, survivors of sexual violence. Now, therefore, I, Henry Royce, Mayor of Glasgow, and I, Jamie Bewley Bird, County Judge Executive of Barren County, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2026 as Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, and request that all citizens observe this month by helping create a community free from sexual violence. And I'm going to let the judge sign right there, making it official. And I will reach over and sign this. And, well, I'm about out of ink.
Pen's not the best.
Yeah, I don't want to run out of ink in the middle of this. And I think that what we ought to do is to invite Ms. Whitley to come up here and say a few words in behalf of Hope Harbor on the microphone here.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
So we have, of course, we're ending out the month here, so we appreciate you all giving us the opportunity and the time and for our community partners within Barren County and Glasgow. I see one right back there in the corner for me that we work with on a regular basis. And again, we know the importance of the awareness and the prevention programs. Of course, my staff are out on the front lines working with survivors and victims every day. And so we just appreciate you all allowing us to be here tonight. And keep us in mind if you have a constituent who's needing services. We are located just right in Dr. Modi's corner down at 204. So you send them our way anytime. We'll be there to support them or their friends or family that also need that work. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you. No, I'm going to take.
Oh, you want to take a picture?
Yeah. Dr. Murphy, you need me?
Where you going? Where you going?
My nose might reach out.
I'm smiling. I'm back here smiling. I'm smiling.
Thank you all very much for everything you do.
I just have to go to Marion.
Very old. Could be a rough drive.
Thank you, Judge.
Always like to sign those things, and some of these numbers that are listed in this particular proclamation are very, very impressive. Let's see. I'm going to hold off here because we're in presentations, but I see a couple of gentlemen from Sustainable Glasgow here. Y'all aren't on the agenda, but did you come to want to give us an update on anything from the weekend that might have been going on? Okay, Griffin Botts, do you want to come up here to the microphone right here so we can move forward? Griffin Botts is with Sustainable Glasgow, and we had a gigantic weekend. Griffin, go right ahead.
Can I just, we are on the agenda for the lease, right?
Yes, we
Okay,
are.
perfect. I'm just double checking.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you all for welcoming us. We're really excited to be here. And yeah, we just had our opening weekend last weekend, so our first day in the new market building, which we were all super excited. The farmers were so excited we couldn't get there early enough to beat them to the building. They showed up super early to start setting up, so that was exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had our homegrown 5K. We had, I think, 125-ish runners. So that's always a big fundraiser from us, and we had folks from all over the Commonwealth come for that event. And then we followed it up with the first Bounty of the Barrens kind of summer market season. Starts at the end of April for us. So we had over 1,100, well, just under 1,100 attendees, so visitors and shoppers. Probably a dozen and a half vendors. kind of a soft launch, and it went really well. Yeah.
All right, well, good. Well, we're looking forward to seeing that grow, and we'll do the all business part here in a minute. But I
Sure.
wanted to do a little fluff here in the beginning.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Everybody had worked so incredibly hard to make this happen.
Absolutely. And if I could just give a quick shout out to Mr. McGowan in the back.
Yes.
He was instrumental in getting this done and making sure that the project, was finished on time and that we could set up, and he really went above and beyond. So we really appreciate all of his work.
Do you see him trying to hide
I
back
know,
there? Yes, he did. He was, and even Jim couldn't sleep that night before. He was going to get up there early, but there's one vendor who will remain nameless that he did not beat up there early in the morning on Saturday. So it was very exciting indeed. We'll have you back up here. Randy?
Yeah, just while I know you're probably the history guy. Can you, I'm new to this, I know a little bit about it. You probably in school when this started. When did this sustainable, how did that you give me just a background real quick?
Well, Sustainable Glasgow goes back to
Almost 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah.
Or you can go if you want.
Well, no, I'm trying to, I have to talk to think, because I remember, it's been a long time ago, and I remember the beginnings of it.
Mhm.
And it's the kind of thing that has continued to grow, continued to exist. Sometimes there are adjustments, sometimes there's discussions and changes of how to make some changes to the group, but the group has really gelled, and you could see that down there Saturday of all the people a lot of people that have been there since the beginning. They're just so happy to see it continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. It started, I think, 18 years ago, but almost 20 years ago. It was just a group of concerned citizens that were trying to focus on sustainability of the entire community. So like agricultural, energy, used to have like a big EPB and water kind of component. Yeah, and also just making the town like an exciting place for young families to come back to, I think, as they were ready to kind of start their adult lives was a big kind of mission. And one of the big kind of flagship programs has always been Bounty of the Barrens Farmers Market that originally started, I guess, behind the water company.
Yeah.
I remember playing piano there, I think, when I was in elementary school, but then it's kind of moved around, but that's always been kind of the biggest program that we've had. So.
Well, it's just exciting to see it continue to grow, and we're really excited to be a part of the location of it, and we're going to be anxious to see what the next thing's going to be. Pretty exciting. Okay, Griffin, thank you.
Ask Joe. He can tell you about it.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Trigg is over there.
Joe.
Joe has been involved in it too. Do you go back 18 years, Joe?
Wasn't Dr. Travis big in that too?
So the original members were Billy Ray, Dr. Travis, her name, she used to be the preacher at the Presbyterian Church, and myself, Rhonda Ryherd, were the original founders. And the goals he stated were the ones that it was set up for the community. The original farmers market used to be on Cleveland Avenue at that church. What's it? Episcopal, is that what it is? The name of the church. And that's where that lady was one of the founders with us and stuff. So that's how it evolved. And the goal has always was to get a permanent farmers market. And originally it was on Water Street for the longest. I can remember him playing on the stage and others. And then we made the stage from donations from Southern States, Lowe's, and a bunch of other folks. So it's been a long process. All of us are older now and have kind of fallen over to the wayside, but we're thankful and happy that you guys are, success, and we're going to try to help you continue.
Thank you, Joe.
A lot of cooperation down there at that property and how it came about, who sold that and all that. There was a lot of good story in that.
Yeah, there probably needs to be. Do y'all have a historian in the Sustainable Glasgow group that's writing all this down?
I think that Jeff was saying that Miss Louise, who's actually, I call her the board, she's like an emeritus board member, but she still comes every weekend, and she may have been the Episcopal preacher that had set that up. So anyway, she might be our knowledge base there, yeah.
It'll be something good to write down so we can refer back to it many years from now. Good deal. Thank you, Griffin. All right, very good. I think the next thing we need to do, Rich, is to move into new business, which actually deals with the farmer's market.
This is a resolution approving the lease with Sustainable Glasgow, Inc. relating to the farmers market. Be it hereby resolved by the City of Glasgow that it enter into a lease with Sustainable Glasgow, Inc., a specimen copy of which is attached as Exhibit A, as it relates to the farmers market building and grounds on West Main Street. Be it further resolved that the mayor shall be and hereby is authorized and directed to execute the written lease for and on behalf of the City of Glasgow, adopted today's date.
All right, you have had this lease in your packet from back on Thursday. At this point, I will entertain a motion that we bring this lease to the floor for approval.
Motion, Bunnell.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Norris.
Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay, first reading of the lease with Sustainable Glasgow has been approved.
And that will be the only reading, since it's a resolution.
Resolution, okay. Go ahead.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the City of Glasgow to dispose of surplus equipment pursuant to law that the Glasgow Police Department has designated as surplus. That whereas the Glasgow Police Department here we go. That whereas the Glasgow Police Department, hereinafter department, possesses certain personal property which is more particularly described as follows. A 2017 Ford Explorer, VIN number is specified, whereas the personal property described above and in Exhibit A is of sufficient age that the department desires to sell because the department now possesses newer equipment which better meets the current needs. Whereas it is suitable and consistent with the public interest for the personal property described above to be declared surplus and its disposition authorized according to law. Now, therefore, in light of the foregoing recitals, be it hereby resolved by the city as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 82.083, the following written determinations are made. The property to be surplused is the personal property particularly described as in Exhibit A. The intended use of this personal property at the time of its acquisition was for the use and benefit of the Glasgow Police Department and its daily operations. The reason why it is in public interest to dispose of the personal property is because said property has high mileage with mechanical failures, and it is best suited for the department to dispose of same and use the newer equipment which it currently possesses. The method of disposition to be used shall be by any applicable means authorized by law. Section 2, the property described above is hereby declared surplus. Section 3, the property shall be disposed of by all means authorized by KRS 82.083, subparagraph 4, that are applicable to this particular circumstance. Section 4, Mayor Royce shall be and hereby is authorized and directed to take any and all action necessary in order to carry out the actions contemplated herein, adopted today's date.
Okay, you have heard the reading of the resolution. You have had it in your packet. I would entertain a motion that we approve this resolution to sell the surplus equipment.
Motion.
From Councilman Neal, is there a second?
Second, Norris.
Okay, is there any discussion on this resolution? There being none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. All right, let's do some fire department work.
Next item is a similar resolution regarding the fire department. That whereas the Glasgow Fire Department possesses certain personal property which is more particularly described in Exhibit A, pages 1 through 3, whereas the personal property described in Exhibit A is of sufficient age that the department desires to sell those items because the department now possesses newer equipment which better meets the needs of the department. And whereas it would be suitable and consistent with the public interest for this personal property to be declared surplus and its disposition authorized according to law. Now, therefore, in light of the foregoing recitals, be it hereby resolved by the city as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 83.083, subparagraph 3, the following written determinations are made. The property to be surplused is the personal property more particularly described as Exhibit A. The intended use of this personal property at the time of its acquisition was for the use and benefit of the Glasgow Fire Department and its daily operations. The reason why it is in the public interest to dispose of the personal property is because said property is outdated, worn out, and it would be better suited for the department to dispose of same and use the newer equipment which it currently possesses and is better suited to meet the needs of the department. The method of disposition to be used shall be by any applicable means authorized by law. Section 2, the property described above is hereby declared surplus. Section 3, this property shall be disposed of by all means authorized by law that are applicable to this particular circumstance. Section 4, Mayor Royce shall be and hereby is authorized and directed to take any and all action necessary in order to carry out the actions contemplated herein. Adopted today's date.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. You had it available to read over in preparing for tonight. I would entertain a motion for us to approve this resolution disposing of fire department equipment.
Motion, Lowry.
Is there a second?
Second, Benel.
Is there any discussion? There being none, then all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The resolution passes.
Mayor, just for the clerk's attention, on that resolution for the police department, that wording will have to be fixed in that first paragraph where it says fire department.
Got it.
I think that's where you got stumped.
That's what got me stumped there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll correct
Right.
it.
You can't have the police department selling fire department equipment. That just won't fly back there in the back.
The money goes.
That's right. It's got to know what you're selling. Very good. On Mr. Buford, do you want to read that or should?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go right ahead.
Last item on the agenda is a municipal order appointing Rondell Buford or reappointing him to the Code Enforcement Board. This appointment is for a 3-year term expiring April 30, 2029, subject to the approval of the Glasgow City Council.
All right, I'll entertain a motion that we reapprove Mr. Rondell Buford to serve on the Code Enforcement Board.
Motion, Kirkpatrick.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Wilkinson. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. For the purposes, there was an executive order that we have signed relating to various position titles and position descriptions, including job titles like street laborer, street truck driver, laborer, stormwater program manager, grant oversight manager, city administrator, and transit manager. Now, we have that particular executive order is in your package. If you have any questions about that, we have it up here if you want to talk about it. But it's an executive order. It does not require a vote. Now, let's talk about some other fun things coming up. First of all, tomorrow was supposed to have been when they changed the traffic light over there at the intersection of North Ray Street and Front Street, but because of the potential for severe weather, the State Highway Department has put that off until Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. They're thinking that there might be some storms coming through here, which is a bad time to change the way we stop at intersections, and so the State Highway Department says they're going to put that off until Thursdays. And there's been a lot of announcements out about that, so just remember that. I want to make you aware of that. We have a very special day coming up at the Glasgow Police Department on April the 29th, and I really feel like that Chief Howie does an incredible job of explaining what this particular tree planting ceremony is going to be about. So, Chief, I ask if you would come forward to the podium and explain a little more about what's happening here on the 29th.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 29th at 11 o'clock, the police department is going to be doing a tree planting ceremony for a young man, 2-year-old Wyatt Miller, who suffered a medical emergency, and his parents subsequently had to remove him from life support. However, they graciously donated his organs, and in doing so saved three lives from the organs that were donated from Wyatt. So April is also Organ Donation Month, so we thought it appropriate to honor him with a tree planting ceremony on 11 o'clock on Wednesday.
And I know you all put a lot of thought into that. It should be a very nice ceremony. We appreciate your efforts for that, sir. Thank you. We have the Plaza Theater with the All About Dance. The 20th anniversary is coming up on May the 2nd. That shall be probably, that's always a where there's a lot of attendance there. Also, the police department is going to have a Peace Officers Memorial Ceremony on May the 8th at 11 o'clock in the morning. Public will be invited to attend a ceremony at the Glasgow PD. Glasgow Parks and Recreation Summer Day Camp registration is now open. In fact, there's several parks and recreation things that are coming up. Eddie, you want to come up here and just let me put you on the spot. I gave him absolutely zero notice, but he lives in this world if you want to get more information about it.
So our day camp signups, they started a few weeks ago. We have, during the month of June, we have the camp for the 5 to 7-year-olds. In July, it's for the 8 to 10-year-olds, so we still have plenty of spots for that right now. Just a reminder, camp is back at American Legion Park at the Joyce Driver Aquatic Center. I think kids are going to be super excited to experience that for the first time this year, so we can't wait for that to happen. On top of that, our adult softball signups just began last week as well. We're expecting big leagues again like we have for the last couple of years, and then we have some more tournaments and whatnot coming up the rest of the summer too. So a lot of things coming on with us. And then, obviously, next month, the Aquatic Center is going to be opening too.
And I keep hearing incredible reports about the attendance at the pickleball courts.
Yeah, you can swing by American Legion Park day or night, and there's going to be somebody out there playing.
Yeah.
It's been a blast so far.
Well, I know it's very exciting in your department right now, and everybody's really excited about one of the leadership classes got to come tour the Joyce Driver Aquatic Center last week, and they were really taken aback by how nice it is.
Yep, it was fun.
And the whole public's going to find out about that.
Yep.
Okay, Eddie?
Okay.
Thank you very much. And I would like to mention our city administrator, April Russell's father-in-law passed away this weekend. And so she's going to be out, and we want to send condolences to she and Drew and the girls for having to deal with the loss of a loved one. I think that I've got everything I was supposed to do done, but I got a lot of people who will tell me if I messed it up. So I'm looking around at all of y'all to see if there's anything else we need to talk about. And if there's nothing else to talk about, I will entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All right. Then all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are dismissed. Thank you.